Pronto, Vincenza.
Pronto, Randy, and welcome everyone to our Pronto Lifestyle Podcast, Conversations of Life. And it is our 35th episode of our Pronto Podcast, where we talk about all the beautiful things life has to offer, whether it be inspiration, fashion, goals, you name it. We talk about it all here on Pronto. How have you been, Randy?
Really good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
You look beautiful in the red.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm actually wearing red in honor of Italian American Heritage Month. October is we celebrate Italian American Heritage Month, and I felt what better way to start off the month of, I can't believe we're in October, to start off the month of October with wearing red. I very proud Italian, as you know, and I'm sure everyone else knows. But yes, thank you so much for the compliment. And as before we dive into things, because I'm very excited about our guest, because she is no stranger to the Pronto podcast, I wanted to make note that today we are offering a special promo code for listeners. Type in Pronto 20. There you go, right at this down at the screen. Pronto 20 to be used at any Curry location to enjoy $20 off a hydrofacial now through the end of 2024. Oh, that sounds amazing. Hydrofacial is a revolutionary treatment with the immediate skincare results, ideal for all skin types. And I can definitely say that I truly enjoyed the hydrofacial at Curry Hair Skin and Nails. It was out of this world. My skin was glowing. What do they call it? The red carpet treatment, or that's what you get before you hit the red carpet or a fancy event, because there's no downtime. Your skin is glowing, and it's true. It really was.
Really hydrating.
Very hydrating. Exactly. So definitely check that promo out. Take advantage of the code, $20 off a hydrofacial now until the end of 2024. So what's that? 3 months, not even a little less than 3 months, because we're at the beginning of October. Take advantage of this opportunity. Trust me when I tell you, you will truly enjoy the hydrofacial. I had the opportunity to experience it at Curry Hair Skin and Nails location at Glen Mills, and it was so, so great. I actually need to book another appointment, Randy.
Come on in.
Yes. All right. Well, with that said, we are jumping right into things here, Pronto. Without further ado, I'm excited to introduce our guest. We're excited to welcome today Amanda Nattle, registered nurse injector specialist. Amanda Nattle is a graduate of Thomas Jefferson University, where she earned a bachelor's degree in nursing. Before working on her own, Amanda worked in the facial aesthetic industry for 11 plus years, including the last 5 years as an aesthetic nurse injector, specializing only in injectables, but mastering aesthetic lasers and devices. Amanda possesses both an advanced and current approach to injectables and is aware that every patient is unique. She has a thorough understanding of the anatomy and has an established reputation amongst her patients and colleagues as a knowledgeable, skillful injector. Amanda takes the time to consult with each patient and help them achieve their goals in a safe and artful way. Her goal for her patients is very natural, youthful, refreshed look with an emphasis on classical beauty. Amanda is now offering and has been offering services as a part of the Curry Hair Skin and Nails team. Please welcome Amanda Nattle. There she is.
Hi, how are you guys?
Hi, Amanda. Welcome back.
So excited to be here. Love Vincenza, love Randy. How are you guys doing?
We're doing wonderful.
Very good.
We are doing wonderful. More excited to have you back on our Pronto podcast. We felt it was necessary, but also we had such a successful podcast interview with you from our first experience that we're like, we got to bring her back.
Yep.
We got to bring her back. We got to let people know how amazing you are, not just as a skillful a skillful esthetician, but also a person, an individual. You are so accomplished. We're like, we needed to bring her back. So welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys.
Oh, of course.
Everyone's looking for the fountain of youth.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that brings me to the first question that I want to ask Amanda, because you touched on that. Everybody's looking for that fountain of youth and wants, what are the tricks? What are the secrets? We don't know it all, right? And you always stay ahead of the times. You're always making sure that you are educated, you're up to date with information. And that's what something that I think is really important when you are looking for someone who is skilled in injections and the beauty of the face, the anatomy, and you always are ahead of the game. So could you just kind of update us on, maybe some information or something that you feel that, okay, people need to understand what it's like, whether they've been injecting for all these years or they just want to start. So why don't you give us kind of a quick overview on things?
Absolutely. So, what I found the most is that a lot of people, when they come to me, they have like an issue or something that bothers them.
Mm,
But the most like important thing is to understand like how holistic of an approach everything is. Not just one treatment, one area affects the other. So, making sure that everybody really understands how like your skin is aging, the muscles underneath of it are aging, your bones are aging, your entire body is aging, and how important the food we put into it is, the skincare products we use on our skin are, and what we're doing in the entirety of skincare, health, and wellness, how everything impacts one another. So I just feel like if you're coming to an injector or to me and you're like, hey, like you think that one thing that I do is going to fix everything, then we have to have a serious conversation, because there's a lot of magic that can happen in the chair, at any of the current locations that I see
mhm.
patients at, but there's also getting to the holistic approach of everything, and I think that's really important.
And I love that you touched on that because it's more than just going, make an appointment, having the injections done. There's so much more to it. And I love that you're so honest about it. And
Yes.
that's something that everyone needs to understand when you're looking for a skilled, professional, certified esthetician who does injectables, right? Very important. I said everything in one line. I might be missing a couple more important notes to look for, but someone who is going to be honest, right? And that's something
Correct.
that you don't want, obviously everyone has their own expectations, personal requests, but I love that you were always honest. And some people don't like to hear that honesty.
I think you have to be honest, and the person has to
Mhm.
work towards what they want
Mhm.
too. Like they can't just come into injections and eat terrible or not drink water.
Mhm.
It takes lots of effort.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's something that people need to take into consideration. It's not just one and done and you're,
No.
okay, right. It's perfect after you leave. I mean, even though you'll feel like it, right? But it's still so much
Right.
more that goes into it. And then maintenance, right?
Maintenance.
Maintenance.
Yes.
That's a big one.
Maintenance. And just making sure like your expectations and reality really meet. That's my job, is to not just give you a great job when you're, in the chair and before, during, and after your treatment, but making sure that like your expectations and reality really do match up so that we can have like a really great time together.
Yes, exactly. Because you want it to be a positive experience because sometimes
Absolutely.
it can be very scary. Especially for new patients or someone that may not understand it but wants to try
Mm.
injectables. You make it very comfortable. I know that for a fact. But I just want to kind of rewind a little bit because Randy and I have the honor of knowing you for a long time now. But
Yeah.
for those new listeners and new viewers, and for people that want to book an appointment with you, let's rewind a little bit and say a little bit more about your story, because I think that's important too, and I think it's important to share with everyone. Your interest, obviously, what led you to your interest in this space of
Yes.
aesthetics.
So I always knew I wanted to work in medicine, healthcare, something along that field. I have my family is very into like the science major, so I always knew I was going to go into something like that. But I suffered pretty horrifically from cystic acne, and just like I am Italian, and I naturally had very dark circles under my eyes. So it was something that when you're 13, 14 years old, I'm like, mom, like, what is going on with this, and can we like fix my acne, like what can we do?
Mhm.
So I ended up going into what I thought was a dermatology office for my acne, and it was actually a cosmetic dermatology specialist.
Mm.
And I had no idea that this was ever even a specialty, and it wasn't even about Botox and fillers. It was actually just acne and scarring and lasers. And that really was fascinating to me.
Mm.
And just like the whole diagnosis of like, again, like how like what I was eating was making my skin blow up, what hormones were active and things like that, how everything affected my skin and my face. That really just, I'm like, oh, this is the niche I want to go into. And I knew that at 14 years old, to the point of I begged for an internship at this office when I was 17. And worked there then for the next, like as an intern, I worked there for a year and a half, and then ended up getting a job working the front desk throughout college. So I was always so invested in that this was what I wanted to do and what I was passionate about.
Yeah. See that?
Great story.
Yes, it's the heart, right? The passion, and you were following your dreams, and that's important that we share that part of who you are. Even though Randy and I know who you are,
Yes.
we've gained a lot of viewers and listeners since last time you've been on our show. We're very excited to share with the world about who you are and your services. And talking about your services, I wanted to talk about the experience, maybe a customer experience, right, or a patient experience. What they can possibly expect. And again, we don't want to go into details, but just to kind of give an idea of what when a person decides to try an injectable or a filler, what should they expect? Is there any pain or discomfort that they might experience?
So I think that really varies significantly. Obviously, each one of us has a different pain tolerance. People like to laugh at the fact that I'm actually petrified of needles. So if I'm going in for as a nurse, I do this all day long. I inject people, but God forbid it's my chance to have my blood drawn or something, I'm the first one passing out, which is kind of hilarious. So I think I have a great pain tolerance, but apparently, that's what puts me over the edge. So I am very gentle-handed, is what I have been told by a lot of people in my industry and patients that have had things done before. But it can be a little discomforting when, it is a shot. And so you would have your typical thing that we have to say to everybody, which is you have a chance of bruising, swelling at the injection site. All of that is very normal. It feels like a little pinch, depending on what we're doing. Some areas do definitely hurt more than others. If we're kind of working on the lip area, that's something that is definitely not going to feel great. But a lot of areas, depending on the technique, sometimes we use a needle, other times we use a cannula, which is a blunted needle, for lack of a better word, but it's a cannula, and we actually thread it under the skin to kind of sculpt the tissue at different levels and layers. And that really doesn't typically hurt. It's more of the initial action of making the injection site. So lots of different ways that we can make you more comfortable and make everything much easier than we used to be able to do.
Is there an age where people should start to think about injections?
Yes and no. The way that each person expresses themselves and what also bothers them is so personalized. I have people much younger that they do have really deep inset, not dynamic, but static lines in their forehead, that I have some women who are 56 or 70 and they don't have, because it's just not an expression that they make. So it really depends on how expressive you are, what expressions you make, how you're aging. Genetics play a big role as well, sun damage, all of that really comes into factor. I do have really young patients in their early 20s that do have deep lines that we are correcting. And I have patients that are older who have no lines, and we're just doing other enhancements and working on loss of volume and things like that.
Right. And that was a good question. I'm sure you get all different age groups that book an appointment, and they have different expectations, different requests, different wants and needs. And with obviously, whether they're new or returning, I know that you have to customize it. And I think that's what the key word is, that many may not understand, but you have a very difficult job because there's no cookie cutter way of doing every single injection. You have to customize it to the patient's expectations, needs, requests, and then also what is safe, what is suggested, and what you feel, in your honest opinion, is not attainable. Because that's also something you have to come to terms with. Some patients have to come to terms with that. If you are expecting to achieve something that may be unrealistic, you may not be the person for them too.
Correct. I definitely have a much more natural looking approach to things. And some people do cookie cutter inject and they give everyone the same big cheeks, the same big lips. And they know like they're going in and they're doing X amount of volume here. And they create this cookie cutter face that I see a lot. And I'm sure you guys have seen it as well. So I am much different in that regard where I take you and if there's something that bothers you and you're younger, we'll try to figure out a natural way to enhance it to make you feel better. But if you're older and you just want to look like you, we're going to keep you refreshed and looking more naturalistic and just replace the natural volume loss that you have had from the aging process.
Right. Enhancing the beauty you already have. And I love
Yeah.
And I that's something that I appreciate about your approach. You don't get that a lot.
I have to say, people come into the salon and they've been to other injectors and they think Amanda is the best.
She is.
And I agree.
I agree with Randy.
Thank you.
So, Amanda, so often in the media, we hear of cosmetic procedures gone wrong. I mean, I'm always watching the beauty industry and obviously with all my different backgrounds and whatnot, but I'm always watching the beauty industry. But I just know that in the media, we hear about cosmetic procedures that have gone wrong. What are your thoughts on this? And how do you make sure the results your patients receive are natural looking or to their expectations?
Yes. So in terms of like things gone wrong, there's a very wide range of like actual unsafe practices that are occurring, putting products in areas they shouldn't go into, injecting in very dangerous high risk areas. So there's a whole danger behind it and just not having someone experienced that actually knows what they're doing. And also having someone experienced that knows how to handle those situations if and when they do occur, because it is possible that even like I'm incredible and I've never caused one of those, but I still could. And it's important to know that like I am not above those issues happening to me or my patients, but making sure that you have a plan in place and know how to take care of it when it does happen. That's like the first like big part. But then a lot of the issues that we see with filler migration, with a lot of disformities and like things like that, that really has a big issue with product selection, putting the wrong product in the wrong area, putting too much product in an area at one time. I mean, it's just a big one is people come in and they have a lot of lip filler that has migrated above. And that's because if someone comes in with no lip and you put in this huge volume, you've created this pressure area where it has no choice but to move. So it's really just knowing what you're doing and how to do it properly and not everything has to happen overnight, doing it slowly and in a safe way.
Right. And it's the reality of fillers and injections. Like they could move because you're injecting in a certain place. They could move, and that's why it's really important that you go to someone that knows what they're doing. And I agree with you on that one so much, because not everybody. Many people think they know what they're doing, but they don't. And that's something that
in all areas.
Yeah, well, yeah, that too. But more so, this could be life. You have to understand this is your well-being. This is your face. You don't want to make a mistake or go with someone who's inexperienced. And that's why it's important to, one, do your research, two, go to someone who specializes in this. And Amanda does that. I know that for a fact. Amanda does that. And I love that you mentioned that you have, what was it? Soft hands? No, what was the gentle approach?
Yes, I do have gentle hands.
Gentle hands. That is something I think is also important for someone that may be fearful of trying injections and fearful of fillers or afraid of needles. Amanda is definitely someone that you could go to that if you're fearful of that, because I do think that with the gentle hands and the soft hands, and meaning like you're not so aggressive, I think that helps with going through the process.
And do you recommend skincare routine? Like, how is the skincare routine, like facials or hydrofacial, tie in with injections?
So hydrofacials are great, just in the sense where they're going to help turn over the skin cells, which leaves a lot less dead skin cells on the surface to prevent those lines from forming as deep. So when you get routine skincare that's constantly helping to turn over your skin cycle, you're going to see a diminish in lines, fine lines and wrinkles and pore size. As you get older, your cell cycle increases too. So when you have that normal 28-day cell cycle, when you're nice and young in your 20s, by the time you are, 50, 60, your cell cycle could be 3 times that. It varies from person to person. And it varies a lot of times. People with more like darker features, melanin in their skin, hair, and eyes, they tend to remain with shorter cell cycles versus people with lighter skin, lighter eyes, lighter hair.
Gotcha. As a registered nurse, what is one health habit you recommend for everyone or invest in?
Oh, I honestly I really feel like investing in a good sunblock
Uh,
that is like a mineral-based sunblock. I think the sun can be very scary,
mm-hmm.
and you're just hearing about it more and more. I mean, I used to go in the tanning beds when I was in high school. It was like we all did
We
some
didn't know
pretty choice.
any better.
No, we
We
did
really
not.
didn't know any better. We didn't know any better. It was something that, we thought was good. We thought was cool. We
Yeah.
thought was,
We liked the glow.
yes, the glow. We're like, oh, but now what we know now, I wish, I didn't take advantage of it. I wish I really did. And I'm more conscious of sunscreen. That's very good investment and recommendation for anybody, no matter what, whether you're interested in injections and fillers or not. Sunscreen for your skin. I agree with you in the mineral based one.
What about like drinking water or like sleeping?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are your recommendations on that?
Very important. I mean, there are new studies that are coming out that finds women need certain amount of sleep versus men, hydration, all of these kinds of things. It's very important. I mean, I've had patients call me and be like, "Oh my gosh, there's a huge dent right here in my forehead." And I'm like, "That's that mate. Like, when did you last drink something?" And I know these women so intimately at this point. I'm like, "I know you're running around with the kids. Like, what did you drink anything?" They're like, "No, the kids had the flu." And I'm like, "Go drink tons of water." And you can see their entire forehead completely smooth and flatten out just from rehydrating. I mean, it is so important. Hydration is number one. I walk around, I have my little water right here.
Yes, staying hydrated is very important, not just for your skin and beauty, but also your health. And it doesn't matter what age,
Yeah.
man or woman, you need to be staying hydrated all the time. It prevents headaches, muscle spasms. Over the weekend, I was in heels. I attended a wedding and I was in heels all day. I don't know if you've ever been to an Italian wedding before.
Oh,
Amanda, you have. You're an Italian.
yes.
They last long. I always joke it's a marathon, not a sprint.
It is.
And I forgot to drink water. My legs started to spasm. And oh my goodness,
Wow.
what did I do
It's the
wrong?
worst.
And then I thought, I didn't drink any water today. I started chugging water and it went away immediately. So
Yeah.
staying hydrated benefits you
Yeah.
all around, right?
Yeah.
The
It sure
skin,
does.
body, your mind, your concentration, your focus. So yes, staying hydrated, that's a good one and a good thing to highlight. Well, Amanda, I just want to make note of this because I think it's important that we get this on the bottom of the screen. What is your Instagram handle? How can people follow you? How can people book you?
Oh, I was like, let me look because
Oh,
off the
wait,
top of my head,
is
do you
that it
guys
right?
have it?
What is that
It
right
should
there?
be. I don't think that's it.
Oh,
They did. Oh, wait, that is it. That was it. I'm sorry. It came up different. That is my Instagram handle. You are correct.
it's okay. That we want to make sure people that are tuning in, they know how to follow you because I think that's a great way to connect and see your
Absolutely.
work and follow who follow you and book you. And
Yeah.
I want to definitely direct people to your Instagram page because I think that's a great start. Obviously, they can book you at the Curry Hair Skin and Nails location, but definitely everyone check out Amanda's Instagram page so you can check out her work and then book a consultation if you have to. I recommend it. It's something that you will not be disappointed in. Amanda,
Thank you.
is there anything else that you wanted to mention that we did not touch on?
Oh, I'm just thinking.
I
I
know
feel like we did well.
we did. No, we did, and I know that we're so so thankful that you were able to come back on our show because we know how busy you are. You are so busy.
Thank you.
But we were very thankful that you were able to come back on our show because we truly appreciate your time, but also what you're doing for men and women in building their confidence, enhancing their beauty, the beauty that they already have, and your approach to it. I think, so many people need to understand that, try this path of going with enhancing the beauty that you already have. And we love that. Randy and I speak, obviously Randy and we could speak, the same, that we say that we appreciate what you're doing for so many individuals, because you are building their confidence and self-esteem and giving them that, that opportunity to shine within themselves. And that's big. That's tremendous.
Thank you. It is. It is. I mean, I do see a lot of women, they'll come in and I'm like, something really bothers them. And there's nothing more exciting than to see the look when everything is done. And it is very rewarding and very magical. And I love my job. You will never have someone tell me that I don't love my job. I think I show it very, very happily too. I do. I love my work. I love my patients. I mean, a lot of my patients have become family over the last 12, 13 years, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Right. Even though they're investing in a service, you're investing in them. You're investing.
Yes.
In them. So it's a partnership, right?
Yeah.
It is.
It's a partnership. Well, as we are coming to the end of this interview, we wanted to, we usually have a traditional question we ask all of our guests, but since this is your second time on the show, we're going to change up your ending question. We just wanted to have fun with it just a little bit.
Right.
So we think it might be really cool to ask you this question. So if you had a chance to work with a famous celebrity, with what you're doing and, in the aesthetic world, in the injectable world, if you had an opportunity to work with someone, who would that be and why?
It would probably have to be Drew Barrymore.
Oh,
I really, I mean, as a little girl, I loved Charlie's Angels. That was just like definitely a staple movie in our house with Lucy Liu and Cameron Diaz. But watching Drew Barrymore grow as a woman from even that role, like that's the first moment of like memory that I have of her to now. I love her. I mean, everything that she like has evolved into, and she's very honest. She is not fake about who she is, and I really appreciate that about her. I feel like she's a genuine celebrity, and you get what you see with her.
Yeah, I could see her being a really great patient. As someone that's honest, genuine, and you see her true, authentic self on her talk show.
Yeah.
I mean, she's definitely out of the box and not your traditional talk show, way of doing things. And it's neat. It's refreshing, right? It's refreshing to see that. That's actually a great celebrity.
Yeah.
And not even with aesthetics, like just as like a businesswoman, like seeing how she was an actress and now she's a talk show. And she has a whole line of appliances and like all of these different avenues that she has explored. I really think she's amazing. And I like to see how she grew as just a woman and a mom and like all her roles that she now is within.
That's
great.
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Amanda, we really do appreciate you joining us today. Thank you so much again for coming back to our Pronto podcast. We wish you continued success. And then we'll get that Instagram handle back on the bottom of the screen for everyone to follow you, book appointments or a consultation. And again, thank you for everything you're doing in building confidence to all of these individuals. And we'll see you soon.
I will see you guys soon. Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, Amanda's so great.
Yeah.
So great at what she does. And again, to reiterate it, I highly recommend you check out her Instagram page and book an appointment if you're interested in injectables or fillers or Botox or whatever you're looking into. She is the person to talk to. Yeah. That's the number one step,
really
especially if you're new to this space and you're not sure. Talk to her. She's so educated and so friendly and welcoming and warm. And if you have concerns or you're scared, obviously I'm speaking on it because I've reached out to her before. I have booked a consultation with her before, and I've asked her these very important questions. I'm on camera all the time. I'm a public figure. I'm on camera all the time. I want to maintain in a healthy way. And that is the approach I wanted to take. And I wanted to talk to her about it. And she's so educated, so intelligent in her craft, and she has an incredible skill set. But definitely make that time to schedule an appointment with her. I highly recommend it. She's just an all around great person. Her energy is awesome, right? I know you know that.
She threw me off. I remember the original Charlie's Angels, right? So
the old one.
Yeah,
No.
Like Drew Barrymore wasn't.
Randy, that's your age showing, right? Actually, she was in Drew Barrymore. She started as a very young age in the acting world.
Yeah,
she was in E.T.
Grandfather was a famous.
I believe so,
yeah.
But she was in E.T. You know that movie, right? Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
That's how. That's how young she started. So it's nice. It's very refreshing to see her approach on how she takes care of herself. But that was a good person. That was definitely a good person. Just to reiterate before to close out this show, make sure you check out that offer, the special promo. There it is right on the screen, the Pronto 20. To receive $20 off a hydrofacial now through the end of 2024. Hydrofacial is a revolutionary treatment with immediate skincare results, ideal for all skin types. So definitely take advantage of this. $20 off is a great discount, and the hydrofacial is phenomenal. I love it. Yeah. It's my favorite. I plan on booking an appointment soon.
You're glowing. Right?
Yes, exactly. You're glowing. All right. And I wanted to make note that V&M Bistro, my Italian restaurant in North Wilmington, Delaware, celebrating 10 years on Thursday, October 17th. There's the flyer. Thank you so much. We are still selling tickets, limited supply. That is the one day that I wish my restaurant was bigger. That's the only day I wish it was bigger, because every other day I'd like it to be smaller, or the size it's at right now. But limited supply of tickets. You have to purchase your tickets online. But if you go to our Facebook page, you can click the link and it'll take you there. All the details, information. We're going to have a DJ there, disco style DJ, all the way from Brooklyn, New York. I mean, if you're going to have disco themed party or disco music, you got to go to the place where disco music was definitely hot, right? And what better place than Brooklyn, New York? So we're very excited to have disco themed, disco style music, good food, good company, good space, and celebrating 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Ads on Instagram, they're fabulous.
Thank you. Well, we had to change it up for 10 years.
Yeah. Every time I see them, it makes me hungry.
Oh, good. Well, it's working then. It's working. And that's something that we've also, going into our 10 years, we were like, okay, we need to change things up a little bit. So we did a little rebranding, and we're really excited to where, what's to come. Yep. Also, to share with all of our viewers and listeners, we are offering a lo-fi night. So, there it is. The Fridays late night happy hour, 8 to 10 p.m. We have low-key house vibes, with a DJ set by DJ Alex Sack. And it's more of it's not like a DJ dance party. It's like a lounge feel, where maybe you want a nightcap, or you want to start the night off at our location and get a good bite to eat and a cocktail. We have an exclusive drink menu. It's $9 cocktails, exclusive drink menu from 8 to 10 p.m. every single Friday. So come check that out at VM Bistro, located on Marsh Road. So Wilmington, Delaware. Definitely check us out, or visit vmbistro.com for more information. And
the drinks look inviting.
Also. Oh, yes. Right.
Not only the food.
All of the cocktails are handcrafted in-house by my sister. She's the mixologist. And she is, I call her a scientist in the lab. She has her setup, and she just is so creative and quick. And she's able to create something on the spot for you. And she's so good at it, but she's passionate.
What's the number one drink that people ask for?
Our famous keyword, and it is famous, limoncello ice martini. So I
knew that.
Yeah, I dub it as the drink that never ends, because it really it's that great. And you have to try it. We make our own lemon ice and our own limoncello in house. It's out of this world. It's one of those really unique cocktails that you can have at the beginning of your meal, or in the middle of the meal, or at the end of your meal. So it's so great. It pairs well with so many different items on our menu, but it's what we're famous for. Yeah. Thanks for asking that question. Well, anyway, please make sure you tune in for many episodes to come of our Pronto podcast. We have one coming up for number 36 on October 21st, entrepreneur and speaker and curator, Sarah A. Crawford. I've had the chance to meet her.
Really?
You're going to love her.
In fact, I interviewed her
You did?
maybe 15, 20 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. For a job?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, listen, she is conquering the world. I like to say
Yeah.
she's
She's a dynamic person.
yes, that is the perfect example. Sarah is amazing. Someone to know, someone to just network in, especially in the community. She's so hardworking and so sweet, so sweet. But
Energetic.
energetic. Yeah, all the above. But again, someone you definitely want to know. And we're so excited to feature her, have her on our show on October 21st to be able to share her story and what she's doing in the community. So definitely make sure that you stay tuned for that episode. But if you're interested in being a guest on our Pronto podcast, you can visit our website or our social media page. But if you go to our website, which is, I believe, there it is, prontopodcast.com, you can check us out and you can register to be a part of the show, be a guest on our show. We're always looking for guests to feature their story, who they are, because we're all about inspiration. This is just a platform for our guests to shine. And obviously you get to know Randy and I a little bit more, but it's really for our guests. And that's why we love doing what we do, right? We love it. That's why.
I have a question.
Please.
Like, what celebrity would you want to come in the restaurant to serve?
Gosh. To work or to just to me to serve? Oh, to enjoy dinner.
Yeah.
I would say that's a good one. I'll be honest with you. If I had to have a celebrity, I've never thought of that before because I treat all of my guests as if they're VIPs.
Oh,
because
great answer.
But it's because it's important. Every guest is considered a VIP when they walk through the door for us because we care about the business. We care about the reputation. We care about the customer experience.
Right.
So I never in the 10 years, and even though I'm a third generation restaurateur and been in this industry my whole life, yes, it's cool when you have celebrities walk through the door. And we've had celebrities and influential people walk through our doors and we're very fortunate. But I think every guest that comes through our door is a VIP.
Great answer.
But it's the truth. And that's something that we're thankful for. The fact that they are walking through the door is important to us and we're thankful for. Yeah. So I'll leave it with that. But thank you. Got me thinking, but that's a good one. Well, again, the prontopodcast.com, go check us out, or on our Instagram page, follow us, share if you're interested in being a guest, or you want to sponsor. You want to be a sponsor. We are always looking for sponsors. We're very excited to showcase small business owners, small businesses in our community. Remember, our audience is very wide. We have people from all around the world that tune in and follow and watch and share. So definitely consider that. Visit prontopodcast.com for more information.
And the episodes live forever.
That's right. You can see all of our episodes, all 35 as of today episodes on our website. Well, Randy, there you have it. Another great episode.
Thank you, Vincent.
Oh gosh, another great conversation. A shout out to Amanda. She's so busy. So we were so great to have her on our show. But definitely check her out and we will see everyone soon. Pronto, Randy.
Pronto, Vincenza.